Now we are going to look at just a couple of examples of particles. Now there are lots of particles and they all behave quite strangely, to be honest, that you really just have to play around with them to find what you want. Let's just have a look at some. So this needs to be needs redstone and repeat. And actually let's just get a copy of that block. There we go. Now we can turn it on and off. And we will do particle Minecraft block. So we're saying we're going to be using a block, and I'm going to use a redstone block. You can use any block you like. It will change the color and things. We'll have a look in a minute. Minecraft block, redstone block. Where am I going to create the particle? Well, I'm going to create it on the same X. I'll create it one higher on the Y, maybe two higher so we can see it. And on the Z, I'll create it two away. Now we need to give it some more information. We need its spread. So it's X, Y, and Z spread size. I'm going to do 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Now we need its, I believe this is a speed next. 0, yes, there's the speed. And how many particles? 20. So we've got, where are we going to start creating it? It's X, Y, Z. Well, we're doing same X, 2 higher, 2 in the Z. So where would that be? 1, 2 in the Z, 1, 2 higher. Is that there? I think that's there. Yeah, 1, 2 higher. We're going to have a spread of 0.5 in all three directions, in the X, the Y, and the Z. We're going to have no particle speed and a count of 20. Okay, let's run that, see what that does. Okay, pretty interesting. Let's make some changes and see what happens. Let's change the speed. Let's put 10. Okay, so speed in this instance, speed doesn't seem to make much difference. What about the count? Yeah, that's much thicker, so that's made a difference. Let's bring it down quite low. Yeah, there we go. And the size, let's make it 1.5 on the Y. Now it's spread up and down a bit more. Okay, and lastly, let's change the block. We want to change its color. It's red at the moment. Probably the easiest way to change its color would be to use wool. So we could do black wool. Now it's black. Yeah, any block we want. Green wool. Okay, so that's one example of some particles. Let's turn that off. Now we could also change this from a block to any item. Now, will that work with the green wool? Yes, but wow, that's very different. All we've done is change it to an item and look at the difference. It's flying everywhere. Okay, let's take its speed down to 0 and see what that does. Oh, that makes a difference. Oh, and it's falling down now. That's quite, it's like dripping slime. Okay, could we make that a bit more like dripping slime? Maybe we have 0.1 on them all, but maybe 0.25 on that. How's this going to look? What will this do? Ooh, yeah, now it's sort of like dripping slime. Maybe drop the count down to 1. Oh, that's quite cool. I like that one. So what? That's the green wool, but we could use something that's not a block. We could use wheat. What does wheat look like? Very strange. Okay. Any other item we can think? What about lever? That's very odd. Okay, so you can see just making slight changes does really change the effect quite a lot. Just play with it really. Change the different blocks, the different items you're using, change the values here. So where you're spawning it is a yellow, its width, its sort of height and its depth, and then its speed and its count. Let's try with some dust. Now dust is a bit different. We're going to do particle dust. Now it's not happy. Dust requires colours. So it needs a red, a green, and a blue, and a size 0.1. Okay, so we've got dust. We've got full red, full green, full blue. So that should be white, I believe. Let's see what that does. Well, it's, oh yes, you can just about see it. There it is. Let's turn the count up. Count is 1. Let's turn the count up to 30. Yeah, now we can see it. Okay, so if we change these to 0, it's going to be no red, no green, no blue. Now we've got black. Okay. Let's change its size. 0.9. Now we've got big black ones. And let's change its speed. This can usually have strange effects. Doesn't seem to do anything to the dust though. What happens when we turn it off? It just vanishes. But that's quite good smoke. I'm liking that one. But you can have red, green, blue. So if you wanted blue, put all blue. Nice. And obviously if you wanted all green, we would put green here. Green, there we go. Okay, quite like that one. And we can also play with falling dust. Falling dust. Now falling dust doesn't want the red or the green or the blue or the size. It does want a block though. Let's try sea lantern. Why not? Okay, let's run this. Now that's quite nice. Dripping down there. Let's lower the count a bit. There's quite a lot. Let's put the speed up to 50. See what happens. Speed seems to make no difference to the falling dust. Let's put that back to 0. Let's change it from a sea lantern to a different block. Let's try red wool. Okay, a bit. Not sure if I like it. It's very flat colour. But now we could use that. Maybe you could use it for a waterfall. Could we make it blue? And maybe have a much higher count. Put the count up to 100 now. Sort of, yeah, it sort of looks like a waterfall. Maybe you could mix in a bit of different colour in there. Okay, so that's falling dust. And see, just making a few little changes does really change the particle effect you're getting. Let's stop that one. That looks quite cool when it stops. Let's use the Totem of Undying. Okay, and where were we doing it? We were doing it at 2. And I'm going to set this to 1,000, 1,200. I'm going to give it a speed of 0.0005, and I'm going to give it a count of 0. Now, why? I mean, it's got a count of 0. Why has it got so much? These numbers are really high, yet, you know, it's not really expanded. These are all a bit different. I think these are probably its directions. What happens if we set this one to 0 and this one to 1,200? Yeah, now it goes in a different direction. Okay, well, it's quite a cool effect. I quite like that one. So let's set that back to the way it originally was. I don't understand why the count of 0 though. And we can just change this to something else. So that falls down. If we change it to dragon breath, whoop, that one goes up. All very different. And if we change it to camel spit, or llama spit rather, that's firing sort of like smoke out. That one's quite a cool one. I like that one. Maybe have that as a gas pipe leaking. spraying steam. But as I say, you can change a couple of parameters and the whole thing looks a lot different. I think you could probably do a 50-hour long tutorial on just the particle effects. I would just put them in and play with them. There are a lot. Can we see a list? Yeah, there's a long list of particles we can use here. And obviously you can use the Minecraft block to use all of the different blocks, and Minecraft item to use all of the different items. So you've got a lot of choice when it comes to making particle effects. Well, that's it for now. That's a quick look at the particles and how to use them.